Hi everybody, welcome back. Patricia Keel here, and today I'm sharing with you how I budget with my family. Now we're on a one income family here, but I still think it's really important, no matter how much money you make or how little money you make, to see where every dollar goes. So here are my steps that I recommend to you to get your finances and your budget in order. The first step is to come up with the main categories in which you spend your money. The categories that I have for my family are groceries, bills, shopping, restaurants, Target, it's its own category separate from shopping because we do have the Target Red Card, and semi-annual. In semi-annual we have things like taxes, car insurance, things that come up a few times throughout the year but not every month. Under restaurants, I include everything from Starbucks to a sit-down restaurant to the Costco food court. Shopping is all that extra fun stuff like Amazon, Michael's, Dollar Tree. Now I'm not too picky here. If I'm at Target and I happen to buy a grocery item, it still goes under the Target budget. And if I'm at Costco and I buy a book, it still goes under the grocery budget. After you have your categories, the next step is just simply to collect data to see how much you're spending. So for at least 2 to 3 months, simply write down all of your spending. Then within, let's say, the restaurant category, add up how much you spend every month. At the end of 2 to 3 months, take the average you spent and that's your budget for that category. Do this for each category that you previously decided on, whether that's groceries, bills, or restaurants. Once you've got your budget, start fresh at the month and record your spending. This is where you will need a calendar. Now you could print out a free printable every month or do them all at once and just kind of make a folder, or you can buy a really inexpensive calendar. I got this one for $3 at Big Lots. You can get them for $1 at Dollar Tree. You are going to need some way to stay organized here, and you can simply use a pencil, and every day that you spend something, you write it down. Now here's where it can kind of get tricky. For me, I do this every week, maybe weekly on Sundays. I used to do it every day, but now the days are so busy with having 2 little ones that if I can get to it on Sunday, I consider that a good thing. But you don't want too long to go by, or else you're going to be going through your receipts or through your online bill statement trying to write down everything. So do it as quickly as possible. Now once you've recorded all of your spending, I like to color code. I take highlighters and I've assigned each one of my categories from step 1 a color. So groceries are green, spending on shopping is pink, bills are red, and so on. Now you can use a colored ink pen, or like I said, just a highlighter. A highlighter saves time because you can just write down on a pencil and then later on at the end of the month you can go color code. The reason I recommend color coding is because it makes the next step a little easier, and that's where you're going to actually track your money. So go through and just the eye can easily see all the yellow highlighter, and for you, yellow, say it's bills, and you can add up all your bill spending and see how close you got to that average budget that you assigned. The goal here isn't simply to track spending, it's to stay within a budget. So another way you can do this is to make an ongoing note where you write down the total. Let's say it's $500 for groceries, and every time you purchase groceries, you subtract from that total. You can keep this on a note card in your wallet, you can keep it on your phone, which is a really good way to do it so it's always with you, or you can keep it in your calendar. The only problem with that is this calendar is probably not going with you shopping, so you may forget and end up going over. A really foolproof way that I've never tried but I think is so great is cash. Once you're out of cash, you're done. So you might assign each one of your categories from step 1 envelope, and in that envelope you can put the exact dollar amount that you've averaged out. Ideally at the end of the month, each budget will be at 0. You'll have spent every dollar. If you have extra dollars, that can go into savings. At the beginning of each month or the beginning of each pay period, you should automatically pay your savings account or any charities or church tithing that you find important to you. Because if you do wait to the end of the month to pay either savings or those charities, chances are you won't have the money. If you pay those up front, you'll be sure that they do get paid, and then you can work with what's left as your income. If at the end of the month you are lucky enough to always have a little extra, increase the amount that you pay yourself, or whether it's your vacation fund, your savings account, your college fund, pay those a little more every month if you're always having that extra. Because chances are if you don't, the extra will just get absorbed somewhere at Target. Budgeting does take time because you need to collect the data on how you spend and adjust as you go. But this is time well spent. You've got to manage your money. You've got to show the universe that you're responsible enough to manage what you have, because maybe the universe will say, hey, you can manage more. At least that's the way I see it. Once you do your budgeting like this, you'll probably find that you do have a lot of money. You're just allocating it maybe incorrectly or not to the things that you really want. Let's say you always want to take a nice vacation, but you feel like you can't afford the airfare. Well, you can lessen the amount of money that you spend on the shopping or the restaurants category just a little bit, and that money can go into a vacation fund. I know we don't make a lot of money, but if we're careful and we really budget wisely, we can afford some of those things that we thought were out of reach. If you're new to budgeting and have any questions, let me know. Or if you're very familiar with budgeting for your home and you see things that can help, write them in the comments below, because a lot of you guys read the comments and you get ideas not only from me, but from each other. So thank you guys for watching. Good luck with your budget, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.